What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 197 prediction video. Two of my fave fighters of all time are on this card. I'm super excited. Let's get into it. First up, I'm choosing Yair Rodriguez to beat Andre Fili. Rodriguez's team needs to do the same thing that Alan Jopan's team did for him and get him a modeling contract. He's not making that much money as a fighter right now. Before he gets the broken noses and the scar tissue, you might as well make your money off that gorgeous face you have. Next up, I'm choosing Robert Whittaker to beat Rafael Natal. Now, both those two fights I just called could go either way. They're going to be great fights. Now, former UFC lightweight champion Anthony Pettis versus Edson Barbosa. I don't know who's going to win this fight. Let's just start talking about it. I haven't made a decision. Let's just start talking about it. I'm outside. Bear with me. Edson Barbosa. He is one of the most highly decorated Muay Thai practitioners in the world. He's definitely a black belt. Although the black belts, this belt system in Muay Thai is interesting. Some of them say they're belts, some of them don't. I don't know. But if anybody's a black belt, it's definitely Edson Barbosa. He's super fast. He's super creative with those kicks. He hits hard. He has submissions. He has wrestling. He's a big, strong lightweight with big, thick thighs. Quick kicks, no telegraph. Kicks off the front leg, off the back leg, no telegraph at all. You won't see it coming. He's extremely creative. And he came off of kind of a disappointing loss against Tony Ferguson, where he got hit in the face by an illegal up kick that was very damaging. It wasn't one of the ones you shake off and keep going. He was out of it. And then he got submitted in the second round. So I don't want to take anything away from Tony Ferguson, but that was a disappointing loss for Edson Barbosa. Now, Anthony Pettis, of course, is the former UFC lightweight champion. He is a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. I know he's working on his fourth. That's when you're a master. He also has fantastic quick kicks with no telegraph off the front leg, cartwheel kicks, wheel kicks, backflip kicks. We see everything from Showtime Pettis. None of it we saw in the last fight against Eddie Alvarez, where he lost. A disappointing loss. Again, don't want to take anything away from Eddie Alvarez. He had the right game plan. You wrestle Anthony Pettis. You don't give him space with Anthony Pettis. But Anthony Pettis, this was one of the worst performances we've seen from Anthony Pettis. He was just shelled up. Shelled up. Those moves I talked about, the wheel kicks off the cage and all of that, those are not tricks. Those are techniques. Anthony Pettis actually practices that spontaneity, and we just didn't see any of that. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't seem quick. He seemed out of it. I don't know if he was coming off of an injury. You know, he's been plagued with injuries his whole career. Someone let me know what was with Anthony Pettis in that last fight. Maybe was there a knick-knack injury? I don't know. But it was just one of the worst performances we've seen from Anthony Pettis. So I definitely expect better from both these men. Now, when Edson Barbosa fought El Kalkoui, he didn't look bad at all. They just went at it. That was an amazing fight. And if he approaches this Anthony Pettis fight like that, like a gangster, just throws everything at Anthony Pettis, comes out strong and hard, I think he could take it. However, I don't know. I don't know. This fight could go all 3 rounds, but if I'm Edson Barbosa, I try to stop this fight early. I don't let it go all 3 rounds. With Anthony Pettis' flashy techniques and his output, I do think he will have a higher offensive output than Edson Barbosa does. I think he might slightly be quicker with the hand speed, with the legs. I don't know. I think that Anthony will have certain kicks that are quicker than Barbosa. Barbosa will hit harder all the way around. More powerful kicks and shots. I repeat, I don't know who's going to win this fight. And in fact, I'm going to put it on hold and talk about the co-main event. I got to put it on hold. Co-main event. One of my favorite fighters, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, the UFC first and only flyweight champion. The Mouse is taking on probably his hardest test to date, an Olympic gold medalist, Henry Cejudo. I actually like Henry as well. His attitude, you gotta listen to this man speak. He's inspiring. He's been working hard. He's actually turned down this title shot several times because he thought he wasn't ready. And now I guess he thinks he is ready. I'm not quite sure. So Henry Cejudo, like I said, Olympic gold medalist in, I believe, 2008, so not even that long ago. I believe he's 30 years old, 28, 30 years old, coming to MMA late, so he's not had the wear and tear that most MMA fighters have had. He is freakishly strong for his weight class. He is much bigger than his weight class, and I do think he'll be thicker than Demetrius. Not sure about the height-wise, but he will be bigger and bulkier than Demetrius. Yes, he will be stronger than Demetrius. That fundamental strength that wrestling teaches you, Demetrius will not have that, even though Demetrius is a wrestler first, wrestled all the way up through high school and everything, and then became Matt Hume's pupil and just became probably the closest thing to technical perfection that we've ever seen in the UFC. His mechanics, perfect. Techniques, perfect. He picks up and he says, I'm going to be great at Muay Thai, and a year later he's great at Muay Thai. He says, I'm going to get my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not quite sure if he's there yet, but he's going to get his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Talking about soaking everything up like a sponge and then effectively executing everything, every new technique, every takedown. He's just technically perfect. Now let's talk about his quickness, because we haven't even got there yet. The fastest man in all of the UFC. One of the fastest men in combat sports, period. He decides to take you down and then he's there. His movement is blurred. When he puts together flurries of punches, the shots blur together because he's so fast. People boo Demetrious Johnson partly because he dominates his fights, so they're not that exciting, and partly because they don't actually see everything he does because he's too quick. Think about that. He's so fast in real time, you don't see all of his movements. When he KO'd Joseph Benavidez, the referee saw the KO immediately. It took him 3 steps to stop him, and Johnson hit Benavidez 6 more times. He's that fast. I think he'll be too much for Henry. Even though Henry Cejudo is his hardest test to date, he's going to have to try to take him down. He's going to have to give him no space, which means he's going to have to catch him. And I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him. He's not going to be able to handle this movement, y'all. If Johnson can keep this fight standing, which you should, do not try Henry on the ground, Demetrious. I know you like to prove points. Do not try Henry on the ground. Keep it in space. Keep it up against the fence. You can work your dirty boxing. But don't try him on the ground. Calling it for my boy. And still, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. But this is going to be a great fight. And don't count out Henry Cejudo. Now, back to the last fight. I think I'm going to call it for Anthony Pettis. They both need space. I don't think this fight's going to go to the ground unless Edson wants to surprise us. They both need space, and I think Anthony's going to be a bit quicker, a bit flashier, and maybe be able to take Edson off his game. However, if Edson hits him with one of those hard kicks, he's going to slow him right down, take away that lead leg. I don't know. Anthony Pettis, moving on. Main event. And my next favorite fighter, unofficial UFC light heavyweight champion, sorry DC, my boy Jon Bones Jones is back. The champ is here. He's back. I love him. So let's talk about it. He's fighting Ovince Saint Preux because DC, I guess he broke his leg. Now this is for an interim championship. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Someone let me know how long DC is supposed to be out. If it's less than a year, then I don't think this is necessary. Either way, Ovince Saint Preux, love your son, but you're gonna lose. You're about to get your butt whooped. But it's gonna be the best thing for you. Going up against the uncrowned champion, arguably the greatest fighter to touch the octagon today, is such a learning experience. You can't pay for that. You can't pay for that, Ovince. You go into this fight soaking up everything you can. His size, his movement, his techniques, and you do everything you can. Do everything you can to try to win. Look, this is MMA. Underdogs win all the time. I would never completely count out someone, even Ovince Saint Preux, when he's this overmatched. So I'm not counting him completely out, but Ovince, you're gonna get your butt whooped. You don't know what you need to know yet. I criticize him all the time, saying that he's not learning what he needs to learn. He's talking about, if I get taken down, I'll just get back up. How about not getting taken down? How about not accepting bad positions? You give Jon Jones anything, he's gonna put you down. And you don't have to give Jon Jones anything. And he's going to put you down. So Jon Jones is going to win. He's going to become interim light heavyweight champion. Not sure it's necessary, but this should be a great learning experience for Ovince Saint Preux. Now, real quick about interim championships. At least in this case, DC is in fact injured. We have Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar fighting for an interim featherweight championship because Conor McGregor's ego got injured. That's BS. Let me just say that. So at least DC's actually injured. Can't wait to see how Jon Jones is coming back from all that mess. And from, he trains when he wants to, but he looks like he's actually been taking it seriously. So just looking to see what kind of Jon Jones we're going to see. I'm actually glad he's getting a fight before DC, just in case there is any ring rust. So this is actually good for both men. The champ is back. All right. Let me know your injury picks injury updates. Let me know your picks. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I will have 15-second predictions and recap videos. Subscribe, like, let me know what you think about this whole interim championship situation. Do you think it's necessary with the DC? Do you think it's necessary with the Conor McGregor? Let me know. Talk to me, subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.